Yunseo. This is Brian Alexander, and welcome to the latest Trump Academy of Law report. If you're new to this series, these videos are where I summarize what the Trump administration has been doing to higher education and how colleges and universities have responded. Here are the latest developments since the last video, as of today, April the 5th, 2025, which is also the day of nationwide hands-off rallies. I just came back from a local one where several hundred people were lined up along the street protesting with signs and a great deal of enthusiasm. Here I've organized items into two categories: federal level and academic responses. There will be copious links in the show notes. So starting off at the federal level, a group of organizations sued the Trump administration over an executive order making it harder to vote. The Arizona Students Association joined the legal action, arguing that the EO would make it harder for students to vote. Multiple agencies seem to have targeted Princeton University. According to its president, the institution, quote, received notifications from government agencies including the Department of Energy, NASA, and the Defense Department suspending several dozen Princeton research grants, unquote. President Eisgruber said that in response, quote, Princeton University will comply with the law. We are committed to fighting anti-Semitism and all forms of discrimination, and we will cooperate with the government in combating anti-Semitism. Princeton will also vigorously defend academic freedom and the due process rights of this university. We have begun reaching out to affected faculty, academic researchers, and grants managers, unquote. Perhaps in response, Princeton has also raised the idea of selling several $100 million in bonds. Elsewhere in the Ivy League, the White House aimed more than $500 million in cuts at Brown University. Meanwhile, Harvard University received a Columbia University-style list of demands. According to the Wall Street Journal, quote, 3 members of a newly formed Trump administration task force on anti-Semitism wrote Harvard President Alan Garber on Thursday, asking for the school to take 9 actions that, quote, we regard as necessary for Harvard University's continued financial relationship to the United States government, unquote. Most of the demands concern how the university operates. The government is asking for a comprehensive mask ban and changes to governance, leadership, and admissions, as well as an end to DEI programs. The government is also seeking to reach into the classroom, demanding necessary changes be made, quote, to address bias, improve viewpoint diversity, and end ideological capture, unquote, which fuel anti-Semitic harassment, the letter said. A Harvard spokesperson said Thursday night the school received the letter and the recommended measures from the task force, unquote. Elsewhere in the federal government, the Department of Education and Department of Justice announced the launch of a Title IX Special Investigations Team, or SIT, quote, to ensure timely, consistent resolutions to protect students, and especially female athletes, from the pernicious effects of gender ideology in school programs and activities, unquote. Federal staff cuts continue. The administration started terminating 70 to 80% of National Endowment for the Humanities staff. It also placed around 75 staff from the IMLS on administrative leave. Now shifting to the Department of Homeland Security, a Homeland Security official explained that Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, has detained a University of Minnesota grad student for drunk driving, not for political speech. The student, Doğukan Günaydın, is suing. ICE also asked 5 Minnesota State University Mankato students to self-deport. And there's an important procedural note here, and I'm quoting from local account. The university's president, Edward Inch, said that neither the university nor the students received notification of the termination of their records within the Student Exchange Visitor Information System by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. The changes were only discovered after the university ran a status check, unquote. A Cornell University graduate student threatened with detention, whom we've mentioned in previous episodes, announced he would leave the country. On X, formerly known as Twitter, Momodou Taal wrote this, quote, given what we have seen across the United States, I have lost faith that a favorable ruling from the courts would guarantee my personal safety and ability to express my beliefs. I have lost faith I could walk the streets without being abducted, unquote. I wanted to pause here to read the names of academics seized or threatened with deportation by these offices, read to the best of my ability. Rasha Alawieh, Yunseo Chung, Alireza Doroudi, Doğukan Günaydın, Mahmoud Khalil, Leqaa Kordia, Rumeysa Ozturk, Kseniia Petrova, Ranjani, Srinivasan, Badar Khan Suri, Momodou Taal. Turning to the Department of Defense, the United States Naval Academy removed 381 books from its library, including titles about the Holocaust, racism, and gender fluidity. There's a link to the list of books in the show notes. Now, in our second category, let's take a look at reactions from higher education. There's been a lot of academic silence in response to the Trump administration's actions, as well as silence from academically adjacent people and enterprises. But there's also protest, resistance, and actions. 17 United States senators called for the government to release Harvard Medical School researcher Kseniia Petrova. The Service Employees International Union, SEIU, launched an ad campaign to draw attention to the plight of Rumeysa Ozturk. Still, a coalition is planning a day of academic labor on April 17th. Academic labor action, that is, on April 17th. More lawsuits are coming. Attorneys general from 20 states sued the Trump administration to block the termination of IMLS. They make two key points. First, that the executive order violated the Administrative Procedure Act, and second, it went against Congress's power to determine federal spending. There were also some international responses. Canada's Université Laval formed a monitoring unit to watch for threats due to the Trump administration's actions, as well as to check for institutional opportunities. Concerning the latter, the university's rector stated that, quote, there are talented people who would choose not to study in the United States. There are high-level American researchers who want to find a new home. These people could choose our French-speaking university located in Quebec City, a very safe city, unquote. To summarize, the Trump administration is continuing to go after higher education through multiple government offices and in many ways, from funding cuts to deportations to interfering with universities' autonomy. Academics are feeling impacts across the nation and elsewhere in the world. Members of the academic community are starting to react in public, from issuing statements, holding demonstrations, filing lawsuits. Deportations of students are rising. I can't believe that I have to say some students are in federal custody while others are in hiding from authorities, but that is where we are in April 2025. I hope this video summary has been of use to you. Please share your thoughts, additions, and other reactions in the comment box below. If you don't feel you can comment publicly, please reach out to me directly through the contact link at the end of today's show notes. Given the pace of events, I'll try to post these videos more frequently. These are rough, dark times for those of us in higher education. It seems likely to get worse. I hope we can help each other out and fight. Please take care, everyone. Be safe.